welcome to the Barrel Buddies. I'm James.
And I'm BJ. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to your weekly wine, whiskey, and barrel-aged cocktail video blog, well, whatever it is to you, show. It feels like deja vu.
This is deja vu. It feels like we just did this.
Wait, is it deja you?
Technical challenges.
Deja
As per
me.
usual, the gremlins just drive me bananas sometimes. Technical.
Like Dickel, this internet service provider is a lot like the jokes we would make. No, it sucks cocks.
Oh, yeah. Shame on you, Cox. Anyway.
Hey!
Welcome back.
Hold on. I have something to wish you.
Yes.
Happy National Craft Beer
Hey,
Week!
National Craft Beer Week. That's very exciting. So, what does that mean? That means we have to have a beer tonight.
Not only a beer, a craft beer, and of course, it wouldn't be the Barrel Buddies unless we were having a barrel-aged craft
Bourbon
beer.
barrel-aged beer.
So we have 3 special beers on deck for you tonight.
From our friends
At the brewery.
in
Anaheim or Placentia. Shout out to the brewery. So we've got 2 special Black Tuesday variants in a can, no less.
Very fancy.
And then a very cool one here by Lawn Gnome. Oh, I'm sorry, Dancing Gnome. Sorry, Dancing Gnome. Black Clouds Coffee Cake. So we're going real dark on you, but that's typically how a barrel-aged beer goes, real dark. You want to tell us about this Black Tuesday Port Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout, 19% by volume? Tell us what we're having tonight here, Jimmy.
So, going to the chat, Top Feed, how's it going? Redbeard, how's it going? I saw Shelly, how you doing?
Welcome
Everybody,
back. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking back with us, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. I know we cut out there momentarily a bunch of shenanigans. Back to cheeky and fun shenanigans. So, Black Tuesday, first of all, at least to me, is one of my favorite barrel-aged stouts. Ooh.
We got a squirter.
Careful. Here, we get these glasses ready.
Ooh.
So anyway, clean up on aisle 4 here. So anyway,
Can't waste it.
I could say we both can probably say this is one of our favorite bourbon barrel-aged stouts.
Oh my god.
It's got quite a story. I mean, in the mid-2000s, like early 2000s, the brewery came out with this, like, the beer from hell, they called it, and they just made this intense imperial stout, and it was almost too much. You couldn't drink it right after they brewed it. It was just too much. So they barrel-aged it, and they hoped that that would save it. And lo and behold, a year later, it sure did. So that leads us to tonight's offering, which is a Black Tuesday variant, mind you. So this is the Black Tuesday base stout, so it's a Black Tuesday bourbon barrel aged, and they don't tell us what barrels they are, but from what I know, it's a blend of different barrels from different distilleries.
Barrels. Bourbon.
And
barrels.
So this is actually what specifically? What's on the front of that?
So this is a North American port barrel aged imperial stout,
Top Feed,
19%, 10 full ounces in this can. So this is brewed and canned by the brewery in Placentia, California. Just like James said, yeah, this was the beer from hell. It was garbage beer. They couldn't drink it. It was hot. Patrick Roux said, "Hold on, perhaps we can save it."
Who's Patrick Roux? So he was the owner, founder, and original brewer who he's since moved on and now owns a winery, but he's getting back into beer.
Well, his family was always into wine.
Yes.
And he's getting back into beer. There's a big deal
up north,
that he just
California.
finished with a very unknown brewery just outside of San Francisco.
I mean, they're known if you live up there, but I don't think they're really known nationwide.
I don't think that they're really that well known even up there. I mean, when you think about Northern California breweries,
Russian River first comes to mind.
But not his new brewery. So I think it's very, very local, but I think it's about ready to blow up on a huge scale. So yeah, this is a big deal. Came out in a Black Tuesday box for hoarders. This is not something that you guys can get.
Unfortunately not. But we wanted, in celebration of Craft Beer Week, we wanted to at least have, as you know, the show is barrel-aged libations. So we're going to enjoy something unique, and it's a bourbon barrel-aged beer. And who knows, maybe you bourbon drinkers out there want to get into beer, want to start seeing what's out there. And, barrel-aged stouts, they're heavy hitters. I know it's kind of not the season for them getting into
delightful.
Summer, but they're delightful. And it's
in
like
any season,
a
they're
dessert
delightful.
in a glass, and I'm all about it tonight. So.
Really light carb.
What is this one again?
This is the port.
So it's an already bourbon barrel-aged stout that is then aged again in a port
cask.
A port cask or a port pipe? Could be either or. I don't know.
Get off the port pipe, James.
Shit or get off the port pipe.
Shit or get off the port pipe. The point of tonight's show is to celebrate
port barrels. It just says port barrels.
Celebrate craft beer.
Dark dried fruits, vanilla, and hint of chocolate.
Well, I can definitely testify to that. And the other thing is to talk to you a little bit about getting into...
Oh, sorry, Redbeard says Northern Cali is more known for the Emerald Triangle. Is that like Humboldt County?
Yes, I believe it's known for places like Eureka and this cool place called Weed. I've been there. Go Lumberjacks.
Top Feed says Ken Grossman usual bad taste gave Oregon the craft brewing bump. So Oregon craft beer, I think they're more known for like their sours and IPAs, right? When you I think I got like Cascade and...
I mean, that's craft beer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking craft beer. We're not talking anything specific. But yeah, I would say for Oregon, I'd give them a good bump. I mean, when we talk about...
Who else is up there? Isn't Stone up there?
Stone is in Southern California.
Southern Cali. I'm way off. Sorry about
Southern
that.
California.
Or Rogue. Maybe it's Rogue.
Rogue is up
That's
there. Yes,
who I was
Rogue
thinking
is
about.
up there.
We have Rogue. Firestone Walker is up there.
Yeah.
That's another one. That's another huge one.
The
Russian
big hitter
River
is in Northern California.
Cascade is up in Oregon.
Cascade is a big deal.
I just say Pacific Northwest, and that includes Northern California.
Okay.
Why not? Who another heavy hitter? So Rogue. You guys in the chat, you guys should know. Lost Coast.
Great. I love Lost Coast. Good pick.
That is a good.
Feed.
I like Lost Coast. A lot of people hate on it, but I think it's pretty tasty.
I think it's great. Downtown Brown is a great drink. An 8-Ball Stout, I think, is amazing.
I remember
Alley
that
Cat
one.
Amber.
I remember Alley Cat too. Good stuff.
Indica Pale Ale. Their Indica Pale Ale is great. Indica Pale Ale. Come on, I love that shit.
Right.
We're getting back into the Emerald Triangle. Hey, want to get into this one?
Cheers to the and cheers to our friends out there. Let us know in the chat what you're drinking. This smells pretty wicked. I'm getting like fig and chocolate.
Oh, and you
what
nailed
percentage is this?
19%.
19%.
So we're having 5 ounces each. With these big heavy hitters, with craft beer, we don't, a lot of people will go, oh, why you drink it in such a small glass? Listen, with craft beer, you're drinking something that is crafted. You're not drinking.
It's 20% ABV, guys.
Yeah.
You can't drink a pint of this and think you're going to walk away
No.
sober.
Listen, you're drinking it for what the brewer crafted. I think about a beer like this as something like a good chef puts on a plate. You eat small portions. You're eating it with some real determination here, and you're being really, set in your ways. I think the same thing about beer here, and a lot with, some of these crafted cocktails and some of these crafted bourbons that we drink. It's really all about the intent of the brewer or the distiller. You're really going after a very small amount to experience, their craft, what they were going for. This is not pound 12 ounces and pound another 12.
You're not putting this in the
this isn't Bud Light. This is we're not. This is not Freedom Funnel material.
We're not freedom funneling.
But I'll tell you what.
Salute to the
whoever puts $100 into the super chat tonight.
Then you want me to freedom funnel this?
We have another can of a Black Tuesday.
I'm not doing that. That's a double barrel aged.
And I will freedom funnel a can of Bruery.
In case that challenge is accepted,
I will freedom funnel a Bruery stout tonight. 10 ounces of Bruery. So, if somebody wants to throw some money in the super chat tonight.
If you haven't seen the freedom funnel,
it's made in the USA.
But it's got this little shout out to our friends at the Freedom Funnel. So
It's a beer bong, guys. It's a beer bong.
You pour and pound.
I've seen people Freedom Funnel Jack Daniels. That's disgusting. But I've seen it happen.
That's very
So I'll just throw that out there. Listen, we're nuts. Speaking of nuts, I'd like to make this announcement so that you heard it here first. You're going to hear it tomorrow from the man himself.
But why did nuts spark what you're about to say?
Because a man who likes to put balls in his mouth is the man who will be back. Because that's just nuts. And that is Greg the Man Mannarino, the Robin Hood of Wall Street. Our good friend will be here on a show next week.
Next week, friends.
Live, that's happening. We were trying to do it for tonight, and it didn't happen. Worked out because it's Craft Beer Week. But we're going to do a blind tasting with Greg next week. So please come in, tune in, send the word out. He's going to be talking it up on his show. We're going to be talking it up on ours.
And if you guys, most of you in the chat, have joined us for a Mannarino show, it's bananas. He brings in we're going to have 1,000 live viewers on top of the 10 to 20,000 that watch the show after. So.
And I'm going to make this announcement here. You will be following our socials because there will be rules for this. We're going to have a giveaway, and you're going to hear it here first.
A giveaway. Bum, bum, bum. No, it's not a bottle. It's not a bottle.
No, we're giving away a bottle.
We can't because it's too hot in the Vegas desert for me to ship a bottle without the cork popping.
We're not shipping it to Vegas, baby. We're shipping it somewhere where it's not hot. I'm guaranteeing that whoever wins is not winning in the hot Vegas desert. So I'm going to hold off on this. We're going to hold off on this announcement. So stick with us.
They're definitely getting a shirt.
You're going to get one of our new gray shirts.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be giving away a bottle. And don't worry, this bottle is this doesn't mean it's cheap, but it is a screw cap bottle. So. No cork is popping out of this bottle. What do you think about this?
Really quick, getting to the chat, and I'll give you my opinion here. Back to Lost Coast. Top Feed says he lived next to Sierra Nevada for 20 years.
Another stellar fan out of Chico, California.
Yeah, so there you go. There you go.
Great brewer. Bigfoot, Torpedo. Bigfoot's a big deal, guys. Bigfoot, at what what Sierra Nevada puts out for Bigfoot. Fantastic. Celebration Ale every year at Christmas. I look forward to that.
I love
the Torpedo IPAs. Amazing.
Bigfoot. I know people give it so much grief, but it's such a classic barley wine. I love barley wines, and I love Bigfoot. And they do the variants are so good.
What about the Crystal IPA that they put out? I think Crystal IPA by Sierra Nevada is insane.
What?
They put out a Crystal IPA.
Crystal Pepsi?
Yeah, it's clear.
I don't know about that. I don't know if you're trolling and joking about this.
I'm not.
Or it's apparently really good.
It's fantastic.
Bring it on the show
and it's
and
clear.
we'll drink it on the show.
No, I don't make it no more.
Anyway.
Hey, it's good. What's the chat say?
Really nothing because it's a weird comment. So, Top Feed says Harvest Ales were the best. Dude, the Harvest Ales were great.
Really good. You know who else makes a weirdly good craft series?
Who's that?
Let's give some love to some East Coast love here.
Don't you say it. Don't you say it. I don't know why you have such a love for the worst beers I've ever had in my life.
Who do you think I'm going to say?
You're going to say, good old Open Frog.
Listen, that's not East enough. But now that you mention it, our friends in Akron, Ohio, Hop and Frog, shout out to Hop and Frog Brewery in Akron, Ohio. They put out some insanely good beers, and if you guys are out there and see it on your shelf, I'm going to tell you right now, Boris, Taurus, Doris, and Chorus the Crusher. No. Boris Royale with cheese is so good. These are retarded names. So James introduced us to this because when we started doing Barrel Buddies.
Tavor. They had it for sale on their site, and I was like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. And I'm from Ohio, born in northern Ohio, so I was like, hey, let's get some beers from they're well known Ohio brewery. So we picked up some Boris from Akron, and. Please let me know what you were going to say about an East Coast.
I'm going to. I am. But in all seriousness, now that you brought it up, I'm going to tell you. It was Turbo Shandy week last week I'm so close to being a member for Hop and Frog Brewery. And I have to just tell the story really quick that the reason we even know about them is we bought them. And I'm telling you, he bought this because when we started the Barrel Buddies, what we were actually starting the Barrel Buddies as was we were going to be a brewer. We were going to start a brewery.
We were make beer. We wanted to make beer, and we were home brewing for a long time there. And
we were making beer.
Yeah.
And so James was like, let's talk about...
Beer's dead, though, so I...
Oh, stop it.
Hashtag beer's
stop
dead.
it. No, we're not hashtagging that. We were talking about what good marketing looked like. And he said, here's an example of great beer with poor marketing.
Yeah.
Because they have attached themselves to what appears to be kind of poor marketing. But it's genius. It's effing genius.
And it's kind of like corny on purpose.
It is. They are trolling you as the consumer.
Yeah.
And I think it's hilarious. Listen, check them out. Hop and Frog. I think it's great. The Frog Abides. It is a White Russian style. It's a White Russian style porter, and it's insane. But I was going to tell you one that's even more trolly. Even more trolly is Sam Adams.
See, I love me a cold Boston lager.
Gross.
From Sam Adams.
Gross with
in
a capital
Boston,
G.
if you go to Sam Adams and drink it there, and drink it in Boston, it's fantastic. I think it's a perfect example of what it is.
No, but I will tell you, they do some great craft options. The cherry wheat, the blackberry wit beer, their winter warmers, some of their craft offerings.
Utopia is big kind of a big deal.
I think that's arguable because even you won't open a Utopias without saying, we're not opening this, sell it.
We got rid of it. It's gone. We don't have it anymore.
Gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they do some crafty things. For a big brewery, they do some craft beer. But there's also some craft breweries that are too big for their britches, and that takes me back to the West Coast, and I want to talk about Rogue.
Why?
I don't think that you could tell me that everything that Rogue puts out is great.
No, it's awful. I don't think anything.
There it is.
Sorry if I'm sure nobody watches this show, so Rogue isn't watching, so Rogue's trash.
Not everything they put out is trash, and I don't think they started.
They got so gimmicky.
Donut,
the Sriracha beer was so
That's
gimmicky.
The problem. The sellout and craft.
Bad.
Craft was so good and so big for so long, and then there was the sellout, right? Voodoo Donut beer. They did Sriracha beer. Remember when they did Sriracha beer? They
did one called it was a brown...
Hazelnut brown nectar.
Brown was one of my favorites.
It's so good. I was just going to say, I quit the show if you're going to tell me that was bad.
That was one of my favorites.
It's amazing. And everything else now's the time of year when it comes out. It comes out just at the beginning of summer. It's everywhere right now. In Las Vegas, you can have a pour of that, and it's so good.
But I also want to say I like...
Sweet
what's
and smooth.
the Wookiee beer out of Reno?
Dirty Wookiee.
Dirty Wookiee is fantastic. And
guys,
who are they out of?
It's out of Carson Valley. I don't remember who. Somebody in Carson Valley. It's a small producer. Produces this great beer. It's a great sweet brown ale called Dirty Wookiee.
Yeah, it's out of the Brewer's Cabinet.
Okay, what's their score on Untappd?
It's got a 3.8, so it's not amazing.
No, 3.8's good though. That's decent.
The Brewer's Cabinet.
And what are they calling it?
Out of Reno, Nevada. It's a brew pub.
Okay,
and they must brew it there.
I think Dirty Wookiee is a solid pour. That's a solid pour.
The Brewer's Cabinet.
The point of tonight's show is to talk about craft beer and to remind you all that there is probably a brewery in your hometown or near your hometown where somebody is making something that is worthwhile. They're probably making a lot of trash because that's just the way of the brewery. That's the way of any brewery. But there's a diamond in the rough. There is a gem there, and you should support it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Top Feed says Rogue is overrated. Dude, I think it's kind of come and gone, right? I think they were overrated a couple years ago, and now everyone's forgotten about it.
Well, listen, I was drinking Dead Guy in college, and that was...
a while ago.
16 years ago.
Yeah. What do we got in the chat here? Deschutes, are you saying Deschutes is better?
I love Deschutes.
That's a question mark.
Fresh squeezed IPA. Great.
Jake says my wife loves. Oh, is that Duchess de Bourgeois? The Belgian. I know the beer, but I don't know how to pronounce it. But that Belgian red.
Your French is so good.
I don't think so. Delirium, dude. Delirium Red was one of my first craft beers. I'm going to tell you guys right now.
Delirium Red?
I used to pound it. I thought it was the best thing I've ever drank. And I would
Above all Deliriums. Delirium Red?
It's in this amazing, beautiful, like, stone bottle. Like, it's made
all
of, like...
Delirium is.
Yeah, Delirium is in these bottles. They have an amazing, like, cork on it that you pop open. And... it's red, and it's like kind of fizzy in the sweetness, and everybody loves it. And
hey, James, you gonna keep milking that or what?
Oh, I'm over that. I am over that port. And
all right, so this has
quite
a bit
water,
more.
So I almost like pounded back some of the Jack Daniel's.
It's bonded.
Just to clear the taste out of my mouth.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Why?
It's not any better. By the way, bourbon tidbit to our friends out there. This is just hitting the shelves right now with the triple. It's don't go running after this. A, it's not a unicorn. B, it's going to be an everyday offering. Don't chase this. Don't go chase this. Anyway, my point is, it's going to be there. It's going to be there in a couple months.
Clean your glass.
No, people are going bananas about it.
We're going to talk about that. So next, we'd like to talk about this. This was a 4.3 on Untapped. Untapped, by the way, is a social app we highly recommend for beer. It's a great way to get an understanding. It's crowdsourced, and it's a great way to get a hit on whether a beer is good or bad.
Yeah, get on Untapped, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, you can look up any beer, and you got to get over there's quite a lot of trolls in there, but if you just want a good reference point as to like
kind of give you a good pour,
what the beer is, where it's located, what's in it, and a general consensus, but take all the reviews with a grain of salt. You need to try them.
Correct.
What I like to use Untapped more, though, for instead of the reviews, is most places around the country use Untapped, like brew pubs and bars, to put their tap list updated in Untapped
digital
in real
menu.
time. It's a digital menu.
menu.
So use Untapped if you want to go out on a weekend or on a weeknight and go hit up a bar or a brewery. More than likely, most likely, Untapped will have their real-time menu listed on Untapped. So I'm a big fan of Untapped. And this is no like sponsorship to Untapped. I just think they're the best app that has it together.
Yeah, they got it together, and it's a great. It is a social media app.
Yeah, it's like a social app. You check in beers, you give it a rating.
Yeah,
you know, the whole. Whatever.
It's an app to connect with friends who also like beer.
Hold on, Redbeard, you just hit the nail on the flipping head, and I'm so glad you brought this up.
Redbeard for the win.
Pause.
Ding 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 ding.
Because he just mentioned one of my favorite breweries in the Midwest. And that is New Glarus Brewing.
We've had some stuff by New Glarus.
Spotted Cow. He just mentioned Spotted Cow.
We got that through Taver.
We got that through Taver.
We got that through
fantastic. What else have we had there?
Oh, God. So we're talking about Michigan.
So Spotted Cow. The raspberry tart was fantastic. They do, and what's great about New Glarus?
Wait, this is Wisconsin.
Yes.
Apologies for those Wisconsinites that I just said. This is Michigan. I apologize. Wisconsin.
Here's the thing. Plus, this brewery doesn't get any better. It's employee owned, so they give
love it.
Their employees probably all have points, and they
big fan.
Get,
great.
Reinvest into their own brewery. And
big fan.
They're all making money, hand over fist.
What else do they make?
Spotted Cow and the Raspberry Tart are probably the two biggest that I know. They've won a lot of awards. I mean, they have just so many of their beers have won. Raspberry Tarts won for the past 15 years has won.
Well, damn. It sounds like we're coming out to see. Wait, no, we've talked about this. So, Redbeard, slide into our DMs. Because I think there is a Green Bay trip in our future.
Oh, you want to go to Green Bay? I'll go to Green Bay. The problem is flights have been so expensive recently. We might have to plan it for a couple months from now.
I think we're going to have to plan to rent an RV and take a Barrel Buddies road trip.
Can we just
Barrel Buddies road trip?
Take a sabbatical
from the road.
Our daily lives.
We could work from the road. We could work from the road.
I wish. That would be amazing.
Somebody drives.
And we drive around breweries and beers and go live in the
Yeah, and then while somebody's driving,
and
there's a couple of us sitting at the table in the RV doing the work.
that would be so awesome.
I'm telling you, it's possible. All right, let's get into this. This is a big deal. I brought up Untapped because I was hoping you were going to tell us the score on this. So this comes from Dancing Gnome
Never
Brewery.
heard of these guys. Never had it. This was a gift from a razzle that I won.
What's a razzle?
Well,
We're not going to talk about that here.
Talk about it because they're technically
like Black Ops. This is Black Clouds. It's a coffee cake.
Facebook
stout.
groups where you raffle beers and pay for your ticket.
Yep, but we're not looking to shut that down. So this is 1 pint, 11% by pint by volume, decadent and enchanting, the winter variant of our Imperial Stout. By the way, we're doing all Imperial Stout tonight. Our Imperial Stout is conditioned on mounds of locally roasted coffee,
you guys in the chat,
organic cinnamon, and fresh vanilla.
Okay, Uncle Punky, welcome. I see you joined us.
What up, Punky?
So Redbeard says Nocturnum is good stuff. Is that out of New Glarus? I don't know.
No, Nocturnum is Delirium Black.
Oh, right, Delirium Black.
That's Delirium Black.
I don't know.
It's
I haven't had it.
Delightful, and I had that in New Amsterdam.
Here we go. Oh, Bevmo is kind of like a big alcohol. It's like a Total Wine. It's like a big liquor store.
Somebody just asked what Bevmo is.
Redbeard didn't know because
It is
he's in the Midwest. So
wow, yeah, it's a church
huge
of beer.
chain of
It's a church of alcohol and
it's
supplies.
It's a huge chain of liquor stores in like Southern California.
I remember
think all over California.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We love the Bevmo. We have Total Wine instead.
Yep. Just getting to the chat here. He said he'll have to email us. Email us at thebarrelbuddies@gmail.com.
I'm serious. I think we could. I think we could do a Green Bay trip pretty quick and easy.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Fly in for Thursday night, Friday morning. Do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We'd love to meet.
I
know you had put it out there. We'd love to meet. We won't be imposing.
Just have him come meet us somewhere and hang out.
I think there's some hang. Yeah. All right, let's get into this. This is highly rated. What did you say this was?
It's got a 4.40 on Untapped out of 5. So
listen, anything over 4 is kind of a big deal because the trolls are real.
Dude, cinnamon coffee. It's called Black Clouds Coffee Cake. It legit smells like coffee cake.
So here's the thing with coffee beer. I find it very polarizing. I either love it or I hate it.
And I want to tell you why. I want to tell you guys why. Because 9 out of 10 times the coffee beans that breweries use become rancid, and the oils in the beans have a very short shelf life. So what happens is that oil becomes rancid and tastes like green pepper.
Yep.
So if you taste a coffee beer and you're like, why does this taste like green pepper? That means the coffee in it has gone bad.
Most importantly, if you've ever had a coffee beer and thought, I don't like this.
Yeah.
You're okay. Maybe you're drinking a coffee beer that's actually gone bad.
Touche, dun dun dun.
I'm sure
I can't tell you. Before somebody told me about off tastes in beers, I thought that green pepper taste was normal. I was like, ooh, it's kind of peppery. And they're like, green peppery? I go, yeah. And they're like, that's an off flavor. That means the oils in the coffee beans, either they didn't use roasted coffee beans.
I have to clarify.
It's gone bad.
I have to clarify because we talk about green pepper, and we're talking about green pepper corns a lot of times as like undeveloped peppercorn,
totally
right?
We're talking about
bell pepper. Bell pepper is what we're talking about. The flavor of bell pepper.
If you get that in a coffee beer, it's bad.
But I'm going to tell you right now,
I haven't had it yet. Did you already sip it?
There was a smell. There was a smell of green pepper on this.
We call it GP because we don't like to call out. If we're at a brewery and I'm like, ooh, it's got a little GP. Because
I'll call it.
I've burned a bridge
and I'll throw it back to them and say, this is bad. It's green pepper. Pour it. Get me something different.
I, on the other hand, have gone to some breweries and I took a splash of something and I'm like, ooh, it's got some GP, like to some friends, because it's burned me where I've gone to some breweries. I'm like, ooh, green pepper. And the guy's like, what do you mean it tastes like green pepper? We just tasted it this morning. And I'm like, well, you need to get somebody that knows how to taste better beer, I guess.
We actually did a taste test last week, and I'm proud to report that I tasted as a super taster.
You are a super taster, what's classified as a super taster, which means you have
more
double,
taste buds,
if not more taste buds than the average Joe, and you're in the 25 percentile, the 25th top 25th percentile.
So just remember that, barrel buddies. If you
I'm not, and neither is Zach. We took a little super taster test last week. So
this does not taste like green pepper. It's actually got a pleasant taste and
roasted
flavor
coffee.
of roasted coffee.
And a very light cinnamon back end.
Yep.
I thoroughly enjoy this.
Really good smokiness.
What's the
This is
alcohol
good.
in this? What's the ABV?
11%.
This is something that, and here's the thing. I think that 10 to 12% is kind of the perfect percentage
For a high
beer.
percentage of beer, right? I mean, the brewery goes overboard.
They go over the top because that's their reputation.
They go overboard.
But if you want something that you can kind of like, I could probably drink 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah,
and really
this
be
is
in a
it.
good Headspace.
Yeah,
You
when
know
we
what
talk
I mean?
about, so I remember when they dropped the Black Tuesday box and they said 10-ounce cans. We're used to getting champagne bottles
750s
of Black Tuesday.
Yeah, and just to put that in perspective,
Yeah, Black Tuesday champagne bottle. And I was
this
like,
is what the brewery normally produces. So look at our.
and this is what they gave us in that box, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? What the heck?"
Yeah.
But then I remember, it takes for us to get through one of these bottles. It takes 3 of us.
That's a 20% bottle right there.
3 of us to get through this bottle, and that's trying. So at least getting through this can, it's enjoyable. I find this beer really, really enjoyable. I think this is great. Dancing Gnome, I see you. I see you,
Out of
Dancing
Pittsburgh.
Gnome.
So Uncle Punky, if you're close.
Yeah, we know that you're close there in
you know,
Lancaster.
Yeah, see if you're in Lancaster. See if you can find some Dancing Gnome.
Some Dancing Gnome, we highly recommend.
Yeah, Dancing Gnome Brewery. Maybe go to your liquor store out there in Lancaster and see if you can report back on some Dancing Gnomes.
So let's talk real quick while this is a good spot before we roll into our third can here. What was your first craft beer as we celebrate Craft Beer Week?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna go back to Delirium Red. That's one of the ones that stick with me as one that I would just drink and drink and drink, and it really made me. It opened my kind of like passion to go find more craft beer. Like once I had Delirium Red, I was like, what else is out there? Like if beer can taste this good, and this is coming from somebody that would just drink. Obviously going back to the college days here, sit on the porch and drink Natties and Busch Lights and Bud Lights and thought that that's all that beer was.
Why didn't you talk about Keystone, the Stones, man?
Well, we went either Natty, and then on paydays we had Bud Light. Like that's, everyone can relate. Those poor college days,
of
right?
Course.
Like, what's gonna get us? The drunkest, the fastest, for the cheapest.
That's shocking to me. I'm surprised you didn't have like Rolling Rock in there.
No, I mean
those are like 50 cents a bottle.
Sometimes the fancy folk in the Midwest we'd have Labatt's in Ohio.
Oh, excuse me, over the border. That's import.
Yeah, some Labatt's and some Molson. We'd get a little bit of that in our neck of the woods. But and then a lot of my family and friends locally in Toledo would drink Mickey's. And
like Mickey's Grenades?
Mickey's Grenades.
Yuck.
Awful.
Malt liquor.
Awful. So that was my intro to beer. So I was kind of like, there's other beer out there that's amazing. And then I had Delirium Red, and I'm just like, OMG. And then a friend of mine once told me, he's like, if you're getting into craft beer, this was 20 years ago, he goes, if you get into craft beer, you either have to get into American craft beer or European craft beer, because there's so many varieties. He's like, if you want to truly enjoy the hobby, he's like, just focus on one. And I was like, you know what? I was like, America.
Sure.
Focus on American craft beers. I kind of
left. A mistake.
And don't get me wrong, I think that kind of was a mistake, because there's some Belgians that are near and dear to me that I love. Cantillon, some sours out there that now that I know craft beer, I kind of regret that decision. But I don't, right? Because I think that American craft beer, I put in that small business category, and I love supporting those guys. I try to support craft beer that's not owned by Big Beer, as we all know Big Beer.
So you're not into Goose Island?
I used to be.
Before they went to Big Beer.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I still think that, let me say this.
So you're not a fat tire guy.
Even if Big Beer buys that brewery, don't discount them, right? But here's the thing. It's been proven, well, at least on Reddit, which you take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, exactly.
That quality changes because they're looking at optimizing the bottom line.
Sure.
So the grains and the ingredients kind of maybe come down in quality, which obviously affects what they're brewing. They don't age things as long because that's taking up warehouse space and taking up, time and effort. Good crack. So take it with a grain of salt, big beer buying out companies.
Sure.
Do I still like an occasional Goose Island? Don't get me wrong. Bourbon County, it's one of the OGs. It's one of the original Bourbon County stouts.
Yeah, big deal.
And
big deal.
I respect those guys. They get some weird stuff that I'm just kind of like, why would you do this? And then they have some tried and true. I will say this much. I kind of laugh when I still see it on the shelf today when it comes out once a year. But
What, the Bourbon County?
Digress. Yeah, dude. There's Bourbon County everywhere nowadays. You can get, used to be able to never. You would get... So if you guys don't know, Bourbon County barrel-aged stout...
But they're still charging $60 a bottle.
Hold on. Would only release once a year, and that was on Black Friday. So...
They still only
Thanksgiving, for those that didn't know, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, that's when it was released. When you'd usually have to wait in line on Black Friday at your liquor store to get Bourbon County. Nowadays, the variants of Bourbon County are the ones that kind of fly off the shelves. Like this past year, they did a toasted barrel age, like Elijah Craig barrels, Old Forester.
Yeah, they
did an Old Forester birthday bourbon barrels. Those go quick.
They've done that before, though.
The on the shelf Bourbon County, you can get. I mean, if I have some now, if they were cold, we would have cracked one open. But
no, I like our pick.
Pinkies up.
What are you writing? What's the chat? Tell me the chat.
Going to the chat. Redbeard says Delirium Tremens was one of his first craft beers, or his first craft beer.
Good pick.
Delirium's solid. The goofy pink elephants did the trick. Yeah, I'm with you. Right on the label.
The FOMO was real. I remember forever. I was like, I have to have that,
dude. So Metal Tracker, welcome. I haven't seen you before, so welcome to the chat.
Hey, welcome, Metal.
But he said Mickeys are awful, but we're definitely a thing back in the day, dude. I don't know what it was, but my whole family. This is 25, 30 years ago. We're all about Mickey's grenades.
When they said Mickey's grenades were disappearing, I shed a tear.
Yeah, but was that really a thing then? Because I don't know.
It's always been a thing.
Okay, but I guess you know what I'd like? I'd like
always
to
been
have a past generation. What do you call it? A boomer? We need a boomer on the show that can verify that.
I don't think Mickey's was a boomer thing, man.
You don't? It had to have been.
No, I think
I'm thinking my parents loved them and they're boomers.
No, Mickey's is a Gen X thing, man.
Okay, so we need a Gen X or
it's a Gen X thing. Mickey's was a thing when I was in college.
Really?
Yeah. It was on its way out when I was in college, but Mickey's Grenades was still a thing.
Wow, I'm surprised.
So I'm going to tell you my first craft beer while you finish that off.
Yeah.
My first craft beer that I can remember drinking was Mere Pond, Moose Drool, and Obsidian Stout.
Moose Drool, amazing. I haven't had it in such a long time, but that was one of my first.
But Mere Pond, right? Mere Pond, Moose Drool, and Obsidian Stout. I remember drinking those a lot. My dad was really big into those.
Dude, Moose Drool at one point was the craft beer. It was one of the only.
Sure.
It goes back to Delirium, Moose Drool, Fat Tire. I'm thinking of
Was it? Wait, I'm sorry. Was it Mere Pond or was it Big Sky Brewing? I don't remember now.
Yeah, but you look back, there was very few big players in the... Well, no, there was very few players in the craft beer industry 10
who were good.
Ago, who were good, and everybody knew them.
That's why I want to praise Bell's right now, because Bell's has not sold out. Bell's is still Bell's, and they basically say screw off to everybody.
Yeah, but with Bell's, they're kind of only known for the... that one beer with the fish on it. What is that, the IPA? I forgot the name of it. What come on, guys in the chat. I'll go to Google.
Oh, it's so lame. I was gonna say it's double head or two fish head.
Bell's
Two-Hearted Ale.
Two-Hearted. What a dumb name. I guess there's a story.
No, it's because the cutthroat trout have two hearts.
Comstock, Michigan. Oh, good call. This guy knows it. Comstock, Michigan. Yeah, I mean, I don't know though. That's kind of like boomer beer to me. Nobody drinks.
It's not boomer beer. It's Gen Xer, man.
Okay, Gen Xer then.
Gen Xer. All right. I also like to address how to properly pour a beer. Speaking of a boomer, because he is not a Gen Xer. He is.
Do you know a boomer that doesn't know how to pour beer? Is that what you're getting at?
I do. He's got old teeth.
Ooh, that guy. We're not going to mention names.
We're not going to name names.
And you're not going to go down that rabbit hole.
But we're going to tell a quick story.
Who knows if he watches the show?
I hope he does. And so if you do, then Steven, we salute you for this story. He once got really mad about how...
Hold on, we digress. What beer are we drinking right now, please?
Hold on.
What drink?
He got real mad about how to pour a beer once.
We did have a huge argument about
you got to
pouring a
pour
beer
it down
wrong.
the side of the glass. Wrong.
I can't tell you how livid I was when he
Wrong.
tried to correct us how to pour a beer because I'm like, you're wrong. And he was so insistent.
You actually pour. You might have noticed tonight that I've been pouring the beer straight down the middle of the glass. I have not poured it down the side of the glass all night. And that is because if you pour it down the middle and you pour it correctly, as I have done all night long, with the exception of my first pour out of the Dancing Gnome, I really messed that up. But I did it right for James.
Yeah.
Pouring it down the middle actually allows the carbonation, the effervescence of the beer to release.
Your sniffer.
And it allows the nose of the beer to come up so that you can take in the nose, the bouquet, if you will, of what the craft of the brewer meant for you, the consumer, to enjoy.
Yeah.
And so
you don't want to pour directly and turn your glass and pour directly on the side and not create head.
No, you got to have it. You got to have it. Because listen, the nose, as you've learned watching this show, taking the nose of the whiskey is just as important as taking the nose of the beer. There is a bouquet in the beer that you should enjoy.
And listen, they say that the majority of your taste buds and your mind that's tasting, that's processing taste, the majority is processing the smell.
Correct.
Not the taste. Just keep that in mind.
And
it's favored that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of herbs and spices and everything that goes into beer, especially beer.
Red Beard just brought up another brewery that we completely overlooked.
Ooh.
That's at that old school.
This show's not over, so keep going.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Dogfish Head. Oh. Wow, did we forget Dogfish
No,
Head?
I don't think we've forgotten it. 90 minute and 120 minute.
Holy moly.
Ooh. Let's get it. Let's hold on to it. I got to tell you first what we're drinking.
What are we drinking?
So another
Patrick Curry, welcome.
Black Tuesday by the Bruery. This is the double barrel-aged Imperial Stout of Black Tuesday, finished.
So this is a 3-year. It's a 2-year double barrel-aged Black Tuesday, and then it's an additional year in a vanilla barrel.
Nope.
Vanilla extract?
That's not what you pulled.
Oh, what is that?
You pulled the maple syrup barrel.
Oh, whoa! It's the maple syrup barrel.
But hey, you got a vanilla syrup barrel. The challenge still stands that if anybody wants to throw $100 into Super Chat tonight, then I will shotgun.
You will not be able to drive home if you shotgun.
My wife will come and get me, but I will shotgun live on the show tonight, or maybe
out of
I'll
the Freedom Funnel.
I'll put it on Instagram. I will shotgun a Black Tuesday vanilla barrel out of the Freedom Funnel tonight.
Here's what I'd like to do,
$100.
and I like this because we kind of have a good audience. Here's the thing, friends. You guys are like our core crew.
You're the OG.
Like, you guys are all the OGs that always show up every week.
And thank you for that.
As you know, when the Mannarino show happens
next week, 7 p.m.
I can't even keep up with the chat. Like,
it's going to be a lot.
The chat just
get it in
literally,
now.
It's scrolling like this, guys. Like, we have 1,000 people watching the show.
It's going to be insane.
And it's not bragging. It's just that's reality. And
we're kind of bragging, humble brag.
So it's like scrolling. I know you guys are posting stuff. I'm trying to like moderate, and I'm having such a hard time. So just remember, I don't know what the point of that was, but if we do any of these shenanigans,
I think the point was if you wanted to donate $100 tonight, then this was the night to do it.
My suggestion is during the Mannarino show, we have a few of those wacky ideas. Because listen, Mannarino viewers are all like crypto investors and mineral investors and silver and gold investors, and they'll throw some money down at us to act like fools.
No, the problem is those are the guys that are going to be like, I'll give you $5,000 for your kangaroo nuts.
They offered that at the live show. They wanted the balls.
Yeah, but nobody stepped up. But here's the problem. Somebody will step up next week, and you're going to lose these. You're going to lose your nuts.
$5,000 is the minimum.
You're going to lose your nuts next week.
$5,000 is the minimum.
Let's get into this. I'd like to tell you a little bit about this beer. This is the Black Tuesday double barrel-aged Imperial Stout finished in maple syrup barrels. That is a 3-year aged Imperial Stout finished in maple syrup barrels. This is coming in at 20.4% by volume. This is 10 fluid ounces. Split 2 ways is 5% for the both of us. No, I'm sorry, 5 ounces for the both of us.
Redbeard, done. You're a moderator. Redbeard's like, you need some moderators. We can assign moderators.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Redbeard, I would love to assign you as a moderator.
Yeah. We'll talk.
Top Feed, I would also assign you as a moderator.
Yeah, anybody that wants to be moderators, that's in the local crew.
I can tell you right now, I would throw Top Feed and Redbeard out there.
But here's the thing.
I trust the both of you, and I don't even know you.
We don't have too much to moderate. Like, honestly, I usually let everything come through in the chat. Everybody's pretty chill.
People call us fat and stupid.
Yeah,
and they're like, this show sucks.
all the stupid trolley comments.
Like, whatever.
We go with. We don't care. So if you guys are moderators, we're pretty lax, and we don't care, really. So all we care about is when we have that show and super chats enabled. So be ready for that.
It's just a lot. The problem is next week is just, it's a lot.
No, and we get a lot of questions that we miss, and then people go to comments after the show like, oh, you didn't get to my question. I'm like, guy, there was 1,000 people chatting in the show.
You didn't say hi to me.
Yeah, you didn't say hi and answer my question about beer, whiskey. And
I'm so sorry.
You and 500
Come back
others.
Next week when there's only 50 of you.
Dude, we even get emails. Like, it's like people upset that we didn't get to their question.
We love you all. Yeah. We really do. We love you all. We love you all.
No, Top Feed, you're absolutely right. He's like, let the rich Mannarino viewers pay for the Freedom Funnels. No, we're going to have this on the show.
We will do something next week.
We'll do some antics with Freedom Funnels.
We'll do some antics.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
What do you think about this?
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought right now my favorite was the port.
This is the worst of the three.
Yeah.
This is the worst of the three.
Because I love maple syrup, and I was like, oh, this is going to be,
I'm going to be honest. So, giving some true feedback for the brewery, I think their maple syrup offerings of recent has been terrible.
This is the only one that stands the test of time.
That's better than Blueberry Pancake, but Big Blue Stacks definitely is amazing.
We're not opening this today because A, it's not cold, but B... and
it's the last one.
Last one. This is double barrel aged Black Tuesday that has blueberries, maple syrup, and maple flavor added, and it's a 19.5% champagne bottle.
Yeah.
And
we couldn't finish that between the two of us.
No, we'd be
not
on
tonight.
The floor. It's so good though. And the second you crack open the bottle,
you can smell it.
It's like blueberry pancakes with like syrup. This is one of their best beers.
I agree. I'm gonna put it out there. There's only one beer I think the brewery did better, and they have never put it out in a bottle, which hurts my heart. But at the 12th or maybe the 11th anniversary, I guess it was the 11th anniversary, they put out something called Hot Cocoa Stout, which tasted like melted Hershey chocolate chip kisses in a cup. It was ridiculous.
My favorite.
It was so good. The beer, the closest thing to the beer is Connor's Cobbler right now. Blueberry Pancake came out, and it was revolutionary. Big Blue Stacks is just a better version of that. Yeah. If you're a member, you can buy this. If you have a chance to be a Hoarders member, I would say the only reason at being a Hoarders member right now for the brewery
is to get that.
Is just to buy this bottle.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
Honestly, and
it's worth it.
There's a reserve sale right now, and
but
my
we
wife,
also split the
my
membership.
wife is watching, and so she's gonna find out that I just spent $205 on beer. Sorry, wife, and none of those bottles. No, 2 of those bottles were this bottle.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like that sales.
2 of that bottle was this.
You were not getting it again. They're not making it again.
They limited us to 8 purchases.
Right.
They said you can buy up to 8 of these, and I bought 2, and that's split between 4 of us.
And then I'm going to get. I'll pick up 2 or 3, and that only leaves 3.
And honestly, I don't know when I will drink them. I bought 2 of these, and I'm like...
You can age them up to like 5 to 10 years.
It's not like I'm going to drink this in the next couple of months.
You put them in the back of a closet or a wine fridge or...
Oh, yeah, this is going in the wine cage.
5 to 10 years, it'll It'll last.
And maybe in a few years, I'm going to find this and go, oh my God, happy Christmas to me.
So this maple syrup one, dude, I'm kind of meh.
Nah. Yeah, viscosity's a little thin. I think it's a little thin. I think the complexity is a little low.
I don't want to say anything about mouthfeel because brewers rag on that too, but I think flavor-wise, it's kind of...
I think it's important.
I think flavor-wise, it's like kind of chalky.
Yeah.
It's like a
honestly,
chalky oakiness.
My wife will fight me on this.
What's that?
But because she will tell me that is wrong, but I would tell you that some lactose in this beer would do a lot.
Hey, Top Feed says it's another one we forgot, another brand.
This
is a big one because I used to love Victory at Sea by this brand, which is Ballast Point. He said Top Feed just picked up some Ballast Point Sculpin. Dude, grapefruit Sculpin used to be one of my go-to
I'm going to fight you.
Love it.
Because the superior Sculpin is Aloha Sculpin.
What is Aloha Sculpin?
Aloha Sculpin is pineapple Sculpin.
How do you even get that? I've never even seen that.
They have it in San Diego. Aloha Sculpin.
Anyway,
I would tell you that
Victory at Sea, the variants, peppermint and all the chocolate.
Redbeard said this?
No, Top Feed.
Top Feed. Again, putting my faith in two people. Top Feed and Redbeard know their stuff. Agreed. I think that probably one of the top IPAs in my IPA categories, Sculpin comes in. And I'm with you. Grapefruit Sculpin. Grapefruit Sculpin, Aloha Sculpin, and Spicy Sculpin. It's where they add jalapeno.
I haven't had that one.
Some of the variants of Sculpin is just insane, but Sculpin as a fish, something. By the way, it's insane. It's one of the best IPAs out there.
When I'm sober, I like hanging out at downtown Disney at Ballast Point.
When you're not sober, you like hanging out at Ballast Point in downtown Disney. You guys want to hear a good story? I'm going to tell you a good story. Here you go. For those of you that are tuned in,
why would Top Feed say $100 to see me fight with Grace? Why would you say that?
Yeah, that's
Grace. And plus, Grace hasn't.
Cool.
I don't think she's ever been on the show.
Not cool. No, but she's been on the backside of the water.
Yeah, she has been on. She works nights. So.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm going to tell you the greatest story about Ballast Point in downtown Disney. So, when was this? Christmassy time? It was just before Christmassy time.
It was fall of 2021.
Yeah, so it was last fall.
Yeah.
James and I decided to go down for a brewery run. We had to go pick up beer.
Well, and we went overboard at Modern Times.
That was the problem. Was we went down to pick up beer and we said we're not hanging out at the brewery. There were too many caveats, too many lockdowns, too many masky things that we said.
And Modern Times had all this outdoor seating where we could
nothing. You can go eat and drink to your heart's content. And we said, great.
Oh,
see you there.
Top Feet says he meant you and your wife. He wants to see you and your other half.
Me and Amanda? Here's something you should know, Top Feed. Oh, Jones. My wife is very opinionated. Don't worry. I'm not going to say we fight, but my wife has some opinions. So do I, as you know. We'll get there. Back to the story.
So
we go to Modern Times. I know everybody thinks I'm married to Grace, by the way. I'm not married to Grace. No, I'm married to Mrs. Askins. That's not Grace.
We'll clear the confusion.
We're going to fix this. Yeah. So we go to Modern Times where we... Oh, no, you know what it was? It was the brewery 13th anniversary where we got these shirts that we're wearing.
We got these shirts.
That's what it was.
We tied one on there. But hold on,
we didn't tie one on. Because we tied several on.
We could only get 2 flights, but then I smuggled a bunch of beer from the Black Tasting Tour.
No, and we were with guys that we had met at the brewery 13th anniversary who were members of their private
No, but if you remember, the people that sat at our table weren't hoarders, so we brought them some of the hoarders.
Yeah, so we hooked them up, and then when we went to Modern Times, they hooked us up with a bunch of Modern Times only they could order stuff, which was incredible.
We ran into it's kind of like pay it forward. It was so cool how that worked out, right? So we like hooked them up with some beers at the brewery.
We might have smuggled some stuff out of a private tasting room.
And then random happenstance, we go to Modern Times because they shut down the festival, and we're like, we want to keep drinking. So we went to Modern Times, the Leisure Dome in Anaheim. And we ran into that Leisure Town. We ran into that same group of people there, and they were like, "Hey, we're all members.
Come join us.
Whatever you want on the
We're members of the league. Let's go."
And
so we sat down. We had dinner. We ate. We drank a bunch of league exclusive
thank
bottles.
God they had plastic cups because I remember.
Oh, we dumped some stuff. We had a good time. The point is, we had a great time.
Yes.
We digress.
Yes.
We digress.
Downtown Disney.
We had a good time to the point where we got to the car. And he's like, "Listen, we got to drive like 9 miles to our hotel." And I was like,
"The hotel was 9 miles away.
That's
from
not going to happen."
But
and I said, "Wait,
Disney was
how
1
far
mile
are we
away.
from Disneyland right now?"
1 mile.
Because he goes, "Oh, just come up here and hang a ride on Harbor." And I went, "Harbor Boulevard? Wait, how far are we from Disney?" And he goes, 2 blocks. And I went, "We're going to go watch. What time is it? We're going to go watch fireworks." It was just before 9 o'clock fireworks.
8 o'clock.
It was 8:30. So I'm like, let's rush. I can hit 9 o'clock fireworks. So we're rushing. I go, I park, I pay for parking, I get us in, we're rushing. And he's like, "I don't want to watch fireworks. That's lame. I don't want to watch some fireworks." So I rush him to the...
hold on. All the people that record fireworks... Tell me how many times you've rewatched them. Nobody rewatches fireworks shows. Nobody cares about recording fireworks shows. And no one cares about fireworks.
I wasn't there to record them. I was there to watch them.
Okay, fair enough.
Point is, I knew he didn't want to watch them. So as we're screaming by Ballast Point, I went, genius idea. So we take a quick left.
Dump me off
I bop him in to Ballast Point. I push a family out of the way.
He dumps
to get him to the hostess stand. And I said, "Excuse me, do you have seating for one at the bar?" And the lady's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, seating for one at the bar. I want to go watch fireworks. He does not. Can you just keep him busy for at least 30 minutes?"
Yeah, and they were like, "Sure, done."
And she's like, "Sure." And the best part was the family that I pushed out of the way. The lady goes, "I'm sorry. Are you dumping him off to drink a beer while you go watch fireworks?" And I said, "Yes." And her reaction was, "That's so cute." They thought we were a couple at Disneyland. And I was like, "Just get out of my way. I want to go watch fireworks. God damn it."
Mind you, I never paid for that tab there, by the way.
That was the best part. So I go. I watch fireworks in the Esplanade. Ta-da. I come back to get him. This guy's had like 3 beers. 3
beers. I had 2 or 3
pretzel bites.
Food items. I had like a couple food items.
And then he goes, "Hey, I'm ready to check out." And the guy goes, "Oh, well, you ordered everything on the app, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, you're already paid."
You're good. They're like,
"You're already
good.
paid. You're good." And he
because
goes,
it was weird COVID protocol. We had to, like, in my like drunken stupor, they had me download this app and scan the code, the QR code on the table, and you order everything through the app in typical Disney fashion.
Yep.
And then he's like, "Oh, you ordered through the app, right?" He's like, "I saw you on your phone." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, you're good.
You're good. I already cleared you." And James just goes, "I didn't pay for anything." And I said,
Let's get
out of here.
Down the stairs,
let's get out of here. Go.
Like, I didn't pay for anything, and I checked. I didn't pay for anything.
So thanks to Ballast Point for sponsoring the Barrel Buddies one night, while I went and watched some Disney fireworks, which was delightful.
Cheers.
And we had a little, and James got babysat at Ballast Point. It was great. And then we went back to
I just sat at the bar.
The Lemon Party. We went back to Lemon Party.
Ooh, awful hotel, the Lemon Party. The Lemon Party Inn. It's actually the Lemon Tree Inn, but it's awful.
That was a good time. But we had great coffee the next morning in downtown Placentia, the old town. It was a good stop.
One of the best coffee shops.
That was a good run.
Breakfast sandwich, coffee shop, and then the drive home to Vegas was actually better because we found that amazing coffee shop. It was like Golden something Roasters.
I think it was Golden State Roasters. It was in downtown Placentia, historical building. We sat outside. We had a great coffee.
Big breakfast sandwich, like egg, avocado, bacon.
Good avocado toast.
Cheese.
This train was like running by. And we're sitting outside going.
And a drip.
God, this is gorgeous.
Little drip coffee.
It was
Little pour over, and then we drove back to Vegas.
And then we drove back to Vegas. It was a great trip. That was a great trip.
Yeah.
And then I got to come back just a couple of weeks later to take you for your first Christmas time Disneyland experience.
That was true. We came back then in typical Disney fashion, and
it was great.
Spent some time at Disney where I gained 7 pounds eating and drinking myself through Disney.
Well, we went to
4
a
pounds,
Christmas
sorry.
time. It was a Christmas time food and beverage experience, and really that really just happened because we sat down one night for 9 pair of martinis.
Anytime you go to Disney, you're just gonna eat, because I don't do rides, right? I have this like height thing where I'm like kind of I don't want to say I'm like, oh, I'm afraid of heights, but I get a little nauseous and I'm like, I don't want to do it.
It's okay.
So you just eat and drink your way through Disney, and
Yeah.
man, they know Disney is like a machine. They know how to cater to all
it's
walks
great.
of life.
Oh,
And
it's
they're
great.
like, oh, you're a foodie? Well, look what we got here.
Did I not tell you were going to have a great time? He was so freaked out. He said, I don't do rides. And I said, listen, I'm going to teach you how to do Disneyland adult style. You don't have to get on a single ride. We're going to get on a couple.
Yeah. We got
but
on
I'm
a
gonna
couple,
teach
and that
you.
was fine. That was fine.
And did you have not a great
I
time?
had a blast. Shout out to Disney.
Are you not excited to go back this
they
Christmas?
know. It baffles me that they know how to cater to everybody that comes in there. They know how to just want to eat. You buy this like pass, and you just pop off these little tabs and give them to the food carts.
Yeah, you
and they
prepay.
just-
You
they
prepay
just
for a
give you
pass.
food
We're like, give me a food and a
drink.
beverage. Here's my ticket.
Hey, why don't you tell them how much or what we had the pear martini highlight and California Adventure?
So that was pretty good. Yeah, I took him to this place.
No, Top Feet says Disney's been keeping files on us since we were all 3. Yeah,
that's
no,
a fact.
Dude, Disney,
Nah, CRM at Disney is real.
Dude, can you imagine getting a data analyst job at Disney? It's probably scary what data they have on.
CRM at Disney is real. Yeah, no, we went into to California Adventure where they do serve alcohol, and the first stop, it's just starting to get dark, and I was like, listen, I got a great spot for us. We can have a whiskey. We can have some food. Let's come sit down. It's going to be great. The parade's going to pass by in like 20
but
minutes.
our waiter, who was
Let's sit
amazing,
down.
said, have this pear martini.
Yeah, with like a Peruvian baby pear.
It had a baby pear that was like the size of a silver dollar.
It's 6 months later, and we remember this. That's how good they are.
Hold on. First of all, they were $17 a piece, and we had
9 of them. We had
we
9.
had 14 of them.
We had 9 of them.
No, we didn't have 9.
God, we
I
had
have
14?
a picture of the receipt.
We had 14
We
of
had
them?
14 of them.
All I remember
Keep
was
talking,
we just
I'll-
said,
I'll dig it
we
up.
just kept saying, another round, another round,
Yeah.
another round. He finally came back and said, listen, guys, I know you're having fun, but
No, they pretty much cut us off.
this is the last round. I can't serve you anymore. And we're like, really? We're fine. And he's like, yeah, you're not, though. And so we got cut off. We got cut off in Disney. But we had a great time that night. We watched a parade go by. We had a good time that night. And I'm excited to do it again.
Yeah, we had a really good time.
Barrel Buddies Live from Disney is going to happen in December. I just hope Zach gets to join us. Speaking of which, we haven't talked about Zach. Zach, unfortunately, could not join us tonight. He had work. Real job. So until we make this our real job, he's got to go do his day job. Love you, Zach.
I'm there. Hold on. Hang tight. I think I found the receipts. Hang tight. Hang tight.
It's not important. It's not important. I believe you. 14. I believe you. 14. There were 4 of us. I would believe you that
It
we
was
had 14. I
It
believe
was
you.
14.
It was you, me, and both of our wives.
$17 a piece.
I
at
believe
Disney.
we had
Jeez.
14 pear martinis.
And they know, like Disney's so weird. Like
It was like a $900 bill.
analytics and data mining. Like
By the food and the beverage, I'm pretty sure that was a $900 bill.
we spent, I think, of the 2 days in the park, a couple grand. It was
Obnoxious.
insane.
Obnoxious.
Disney is a money sink, friends. Everyone out there watching,
Obnoxious.
you got to remember, even though don't just include park ticket prices, you were going to spend a bundle on food and drink there.
But you know what? Let's bring it back to some
Jeez.
craft beer because happy craft beer, and we're going to close up the
We'll
show
close
here.
It up. Yep. We're way
At
over time.
that craft beer night, we actually had great craft beers at all
We
of
did.
those. They had great offerings. They do Carl Strauss. They do a lot of cool stuff. Listen, again,
Dude,
tonight
Belching Beaver is another one that was brought up too. I was like,
I am gonna poop on that. I'm gonna poop on
You're
that.
talking about Carl Strauss, and you're thinking one's better than the other?
Carl Strauss is way better than Belgian Beaver.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I'm gonna poop on it, and I'm gonna tell you Carl Strauss is red ale.
Okay.
Patrick, back me up here. Patrick, Red Trolley Ale
He
by
hasn't been in
Carl
the chat.
Strauss.
He hasn't been chatting.
Well, he needs to jump in right now. Tell me that's not one of the best reds you ever drank.
Dude, Top Feed, Disney is the most expensive
It is.
on the planet. Casino, I think you were saying.
They know exactly what you're willing to
They
spend.
know, dude. They have
They know.
teams of people that know when you
It's
walk
not
in
fair.
the park how to develop menus and food
It's
and
not fair.
and wacky food items to appeal to certain audiences. And
dude.
they have it on lockdown.
Remember
dude.
the corn dog with a pickle inside?
Insane and you got a peanut butter dipping sauce.
Oh,
You're
so
like, who comes up
good.
with this? And then you're like, this is disgusting. But
No,
then you
it
eat
was
it and
delightful.
you're like, jaw dropped. Like,
Get me another. I'm ready to go wait in 30-minute line to get another.
Literally, people are in a 30-minute line to pay $20
For a pickle corn dog,
that costs them
$20.
$20.
$20 to cost them $2 to make.
Yeah.
And they're like, sell another. Go, go, go.
Dude, that's like the what did we have? The turkey legs. We were just like
also
jonesing for turkey
delightful.
legs in Epcot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these are like $5 turkey legs, and they're like $20.
You're like $15. Here you go. Peel and 20s.
Jeez.
In the words of
it's all peel and 20s.
In the words of Chris Conrad Sr., peel and 20s.
Dude, at Disney, and here's the thing. We went as a group of adults. The kid factor adds probably another 50% to that cost. If you had a kid with you,
Daddy, give me a bubble wand.
Man, like, anyway.
And that's even better, right? Because for their F&B program, they're like, yeah, bubble wand equals 2 more adult beverages.
Those bubbles were driving me up the wall.
They're like, Daddy, give me a bubble wand. And you're like, get me another Pappy Van Winkle pour.
For the Barrel Buddies.
Wait, I have one more announcement.
Oh, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got here?
For those of you that stuck around,
what do you got?
Next week we have Greg Mannarino live on the show.
Sure do.
And we will be giving you the keys to the kingdom, basically just the rules to our giveaway.
I don't even know what this bottle is in
We're giving away a 1-liter bottle.
Bar bottle.
Of Jack Daniels bottled in bond, a 50% Jack Daniels.
Oh.
So this is their new bottled bond. Like James just said earlier in the show, this is hot, hot, hot. This is a big, hypey bottle. And you could have a 1-liter version.
Yeah.
1-liter version. We've not done it on the show yet. He gave his own personal opinion. That, as we know, the regular taster over here has certain opinions, but the super taster has other opinions. And would tell you, while I'm not a big JD fan, this is incredible. No. And it is Barrel Buddies branded. So be on the lookout for the rules for this 100 proof bottled in bond 1-liter bar bottle. For next week, we will be taking submissions all the way through the Greg Mannarino show, and then we will do a wheel, and we will give this away and get it out to you.
No, I think we're going to do a duck race. I don't know if you guys, but in Razzle Groups, there's a website where you can plug in everybody's name and ducks race for the winner.
That's great.
It's very appropriate.
I love it. For the Barrel Buddies,
I'm James.
And I'm BJ. We miss you, Zach, but we'll look forward to having you back.
Yeah. We went way long, though.
Happy Craft Beer Week.
Happy Craft Beer Week, friends.
Go find your local craft and find out what's good.
That's the thing. Jump in, find a cool beer. That's all I got to say.
Good night.
So what are we doing next week besides Mannarino? Can we talk about after Mannarino?
No, because no, because you're going to be in Boston.
Yeah, so friends, I have some work obligations where after next week, I will be in Boston for 2 weeks. But
it's true.
You never know. I do not mind doing a live show from Trillium, Treehouse, or Alchemist, or Hill Farmstead.
Talk about some craft beers. We didn't even mention Trillium, Alchemist, Hill Farmstead, Treehouse. This is ridiculous.
On the weekend, I'm going to be there over a weekend, and I'm probably going to have like at least one free solid day to myself. I was thinking about doing a Turo where you renting a car and just driving up to Hill Farmstead.
Shout out
Alchemist.
To our friends at Turo. Rent your car at Turo. Turo.
Touro.
That's the one. I'd also like to shout out the dopest flip flops on the internet. Toe hold flip flops. Get yourself a pair.
Anyway.
Good night.
You guys We love you all. Have a great night. Cheers. And then what does Zach always say? Drink something, do something.
Zach
Drink
always
well,
says,
be well.
drink something.
He says, drink well, be well.
Follow our socials. Hit that like button. Smash our subscribe. Click our bell.
Add a comment after the show. It helps us, literally.
Ding.
We'll